David come in the room, not him, from the Bible. David was looking for Saul's son. He was looking for Mephibosheth. And Mephibosheth lived in a place called Lodabar, which was a trash dump. So you had a king's son who had a king's reward if he wanted it. He had an inheritance that suggested he was royalty, but he was living in trash. And when David went searching for him, he took his robes off and everything. King of Israel went to the dump, found Mephibosheth, lame as he was, broken ankle bones, the boy couldn't move. And he looked at Mephibosheth and said, I'm going to treat you like you're my own. You're going to eat like all my children eat. You're going to wear the clothes of royalty. You're going to do all these things. Mephibosheth said to David, how are you looking at me like this, seeing that I'm no better than a dog? And David kept speaking life to him and saying, you're not a dog. You're a child of royalty. And because of your father, Jonathan, and even for your granddaddy, Saul, I do this because I love your father. So I'm going to treat you as one of my own. You don't need people to put out your flame. And sometimes you need somebody to speak some life to you when you begin to doubt. You don't need realists. You need a prophet. Will look you dead in your eye and say, you are exactly what God says you are. Third person you need some announcers. These are the evangelists. Evangelists were preachers of the gospel that were specific to a city or a region. So there are specific people in your life that are designed and ordained to be around you. There are specific people that are meant to speak the things of God into your existence, into your life specifically, that you will go forward and pursue all that God has for you. They are not the people that will call you up every day of the week and gossip to you about somebody else's demise. These are the people that announce the power of God in your life, and in some way, shape, or form, as you go forward, they, not you, will announce the greatness that's growing in your life. Y'all don't believe it. I had some announcers in my life when I was younger. They have passed away since, and I miss them a lot. One in particular, because I can tell the story now. Willie Causey was the biggest announcer in the world. Looked my grandmother dead in the face. Around the time I was born, told her that I was going to be a preacher. The time I was born. Well, she was prophetic in one sense. But as I grew, and I got into ministry, some of the engagements that I had as a young preacher could be attributed to her speaking on my behalf. Y'all don't want to shout today? This is going to be the point to shout. There are going to be some people that will speak on your behalf, and they will be able to speak to the things that God is doing in your life. You won't have to promote yourself. God has given you ordained PR. Let me stay there. You don't got to promote yourself. God got folk that'll do it for you. Every major star has a PR person. Every major person has a PR person. Royalty has a whole group of folk that focus explicitly on PR. Think about this wedding that's coming up. Everybody in the world knows about a prince getting married all the way in England. And none of us getting invites. None of us going over there. But we all know about it. To the point where parents made new dispensers and people have created mock-looking rings of the engagement ring that this woman PR everywhere. CNN talking about it, CBS talking about it, ABC's everywhere. What makes you think that if you're a child of God, that He won't do the same for you? God is trying to promote His greatness, and the way that He'll do it is through His people. That's why you need to get away from folk that ain't into it. Because some folk will throw away the memo before it gets out to the world. He is giving you PR folk, announcers. Then He got to give you some security. That's number 4. Pastors. Now here, paradigm shift. There's some people in the life of the church that try to be the pastor for the wrong reason. What do I mean? I mean, they actually try to do the pastor's job because they want to be seen. They talk about the pastor, dog them to death, try to say they can do stuff better and all that kind of stuff. But for the ones that think that they're crazy enough to do this job, allow me to explain to you why you just might be unqualified. You see, pastors, the Greek word goes deeper about the word pastor. It literally means feeder. Not just shepherd, but feeder. That's why you have scriptures that say, He shall feed His flock like a shepherd. That's why we're called under shepherds, because we have to feed the flock. But what else do shepherds do? They have to provide security for the sheep. Now, here's where I'm going to help you. You may have pastoral gifts in the lives of those that God sends you to. You're there to feed them the proper things. And you're there to provide security. Not security as if they can lean on you constantly, but that you are there to defend their destiny from haters and otherwise. There are intruders that come along and they're known as destiny killers. And all they want to do is destroy lives. The question is, are you strong enough and aware enough in your faith to be a defender of somebody else's destiny?